Jaden Ivey does not suck. Let me say that again. Jaden Ivey does not suck. I know for a lot of y'all, this should be like, duh, whatever. Like, we know. But some of y'all Detroit Piston fans uh, are acting like this offseason, like he's just easily replaceable. I've probably been the most critical of him of all the individuals talking about the Detroit Pistons season this past year. I repeatedly said, look, no starting NBA point guard, no starting NBA perimeter player is dribbling the ball off their foot multiple times in a game for almost throughout the entire season. Like to me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's asinine to think your point guard still has a hard time not dribbling the ball off his foot. I know we've seen Tyrese Halliburton today in the Eastern Conference Finals in the clutch. You know, less than a minute to go, dribble the ball right off his foot. I get it, but that's the Eastern Conference Finals. Pressure, stress. He hasn't been there before. I get it. I get it. Hey, sometimes you get a little rattled, and he got rattled. We're talking about regular season. We're talking about playing against Charlotte. LaMelo Ball's matched up on you. Like, what are you doing? Why are you dribbling the ball off your foot? Just driving to the basket. Just trying to get past a defender. Like, if this is still where you're at, it tells me you're not quite there yet. And if you listen to most of my videos throughout the season, I was probably one of the biggest pundits to be like, yo, man, bring this dude off the bench. I keep him on the bench. I'm in no rush. I'm more of a Marcus Sasser guy myself, if I'm honest with you. But when he was placed in the starting lineup, I had to backtrack. I had to say to myself, yo, I could see it. I see it. I see what y'all saw. I get it. You can't teach athleticism. You can't teach somebody who's a blur on the court, who can literally burst past anybody to get to the rim. He's got that De'Aaron Fox first step, that Malik Monk first step, that first step that allows you to, you know, giddy up, get on out of here, get to the rim, get to the backcourt, chase down loose balls, get out in transition, the stuff that you literally can't teach. It's why they selected him over Benedict Mathurin, who I thought was a more refined offensive player, potentially more ready to come into the NBA and to play a leading role as a scorer. And yet, you can't teach what Jaden Ivey has. And so when I see people come to me and they say things like, hey, we should sign Gary Trent Jr. or Klay Thompson to go ahead and play starting shooting guard and bring Ivy off the bench, I'm like, what? Wait, who? Like, who? Like, this guy doesn't suck. Like, look, if you come to me and you tell me, look, we can trade him and we can get Brandon Ingram. You're telling me we can use him as a trade to go get a legitimate starting guard in the NBA, an all-star level type of guard. You know what? I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Hey, I'm here for it. Telling me you can get Devin Booker with him. You're telling me you can get somebody who's bona fide all-star level player. I'm here for it. But if you tell me you're gonna get some role player, some down the hill veteran to come in and play his position, come on. Come on. Come on now. You could do better. You could do better. You see, the thing is, Jaden Ivey is only 22 years old. He's in his second season, going into his third now in the NBA. He's been relatively healthy, which is a great sign. If you could be healthy early on in your career, it generally bodes well for your health throughout the remainder of your career, which means that at least injuries aren't upending what he could potentially become. And it's a good sign he's going to be able to maximize what he can become in this league. Now, whether or not he fits next to Cade Cunningham, I believe that's for next season for us to see. But I don't think that we help out Cade by bringing him less talent to partner next to him just because the less talent is maybe a little bit more ready for full-time duties. Like, I like Gary Trent Jr. as a player. I think he's a solid, at best, probably lower third of the NBA in terms of starting shooting guards. Sure. I think Buddy Hield is in a similar space. Neither of them are going to give you much on defense, but both are shooters. Both can get hot, and both are not scared of the big moment. But if you're thinking about the long term outlook of a Detroit Pistons team, a team that's rebuilding, a team that is trying to create a foundation for the future to potentially win another championship, don't give me Gary Trent Jr. That's not what I want. You telling me you can go ahead and get Jalen Green from Houston? Okay, we're talking. We could talk. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Shoot, you even tell me we can get Fred Van Vliet. You tell me we can get somebody with an all-star level ceiling. Okay, but put a little bit of respect on the young man's name. Coming from somebody who has criticized him more than just about anyone. Let's not pretend like he doesn't have talent. Let's not pretend like he didn't hang 37 points on the Sacramento Kings and beat them by double figures, right? Let's not pretend like this isn't a guy who's had what 3 to 4 or more 30-point plus games this past season and is only his second season, who had about 20 something point games as a sophomore in the NBA. Let's not pretend like he does not have an all-star level ceiling. Even though if you've listened to me before, I think he's a Zach LaVine. I think he's a guy that he can score. He's going to be able to score throughout his career. That's not going to be a problem for him. But is he a winner? Is he a leader? Is he somebody you can say in the playoffs, I can trust you, I can go to you? I don't know if he can be that. I definitely don't think he can be that as your leading person. But if you're telling me he's option number 2 or 3, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with even if you say option number 2, we're not sure yet, but let's at least play it out. Let's at least play it out to the end of his rookie deal, right? Get to season 3 and 4, and let me see what we're talking about. But don't give me some role player to take his spot. Let's put a little respect on the brother's name. He's about 6'4" without shoes, about a 6'9" wingspan, right? He can get into the passing lanes. When he is locked in on defense, he gives you great effort. He gives you quick hands. He gives you the ability to get out and transition quickly, right? He brings a lot to the table. He can hit the boards. He can get some assists and make those simple plays. He's developing the floater game so he doesn't always have to get all the way to the rim, right? He's learning how to play in between. And next to Cade Cunningham, and he's not your primary ball handler, I think he looks even better. I told y'all before, I think his role inevitably is if you remember Eric Gordon back in the day, at his best for the Houston Rockets, right? He was getting out in transition. He was spotting up a high volume 3-point shooter, especially off the catch, attacking closeouts, straight line drives, and making simple reads, right? Driving to the basket, draw one defender, kick to the corner, right? Jump stop, kick it out to the perimeter again, right? He can do these things extremely well, and his athleticism, his skill level allows him to still be extremely effective. I think he could be a 23 points per game scorer on decent to good efficiency, give you about 5 assists a game, 5 rebounds. I think that's a really good player. So if you got a guy who's got a ceiling of about 23, 5 and 5 on good efficiency on a team that's making the playoffs, don't tell me Gary Trent Jr. or Klay Thompson is his replacement. Don't tell me that's who you're going to slot in next to Cade Cunningham if you really do believe in Cade Cunningham and this team. And some of y'all don't. Some of y'all would rather go for a 1 year Brandon Ingram rental, a Gary Trent, and a couple of fillers and hope to get into the play-in. That's not my focus. That's not what I believe in. That's not what my channel is about. Look, if you're not trying to win big, if you're not trying to go all the way, we really don't have much to talk about because mediocrity, well, you can save it for the barbershop. You can save it for passing conversations or the comment section. Speaking of which, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to set you straight there. But if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. I'm doing a series on the talented Detroit Pistons. Even though if last season sucked, and they weren't able to get a lot of wins, it doesn't mean that these players suck. Sometimes it just means you just got to put them in a different position. You got to come up with a different scheme. You got to get the rotation right. You can do other auxiliary type moves that are able to solidify what this team can be. And I still think this team can be damn good. But as always, if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notification, and I'm out. Peace.